Okay, let's go to the big boy, Akuma. Akuma concept is that he's a glass cannon that has high damage specs but low vitality. However, due to Akuma's great mobility and attacks, it was very difficult for opponents to choose the correct option to deal with him, which resulted in Akuma being a more stable character than intended. So we took a look at his abilities primarily in the neutral game. Backward walk. There were many characters with few ways to counter a defensive Akuma who can retreat and throw out moves to keep opponents at bay, so we slowed down his movement speed when moving backwards. This will make it more difficult for him to maintain his favorite space and also make it more difficult to adjust his spacing. Resto snap kick, which is forward medium kick. Okay. Consider the excellent reach of this move as well as its overall recovery will increase the risk of it if it misses the opponent. Nerf. Go Hadouken. Quarter circle punch. We looked at increasing the number of ways opponents can deal with this attack. Yeah, you think? As it was harder to deal with compared to other projectiles thanks to the speed and animation. Although it's difficult to react to the attack, it's now easier to hit Akuma using a projectile invincible attack or jumping attack from range. Nerf. Demon swoop. Hold down during demon rain. Even if opponents were able to read that a demon swoop was incoming, it was extremely difficult for opponents to guarantee themselves an attack upon landing, which is one of the reasons why Akuma players who are being chased could switch sides so easily. To remediate this was increase the landing recovery of this technique when Akuma jumps over his opponent. You know what's funny? I was watching Broski's the patch notes wishlist video, and he basically said make changes to the demon swoop. So Broski was right. Don't tell him I said that. Anyway, overdrive Tatsumi Zanku Kakaiku. The Tatsu. Corso back with 2 kicks. After using this in a mid-air combo, we just so that Akuma won't be susceptible to a counterattack if they miss. The light go Shoryuken follow up due to the height of the opponent. Backward walk. Punch and medium kick. Window to cancel into drive impact is now 2 frames faster. Okay, that was a buff. Crouching heavy kick. Distant Akuma is pushed back when attack is block is reduced. God, thank God. Push back on block is reduced. Okay, great. Yeah, Akuma needed that. Bro, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and around this time, usually Daigo plays Street Fighter 6. He was just playing. He quit his stream early. He only been playing for 3 hours. I guess he don't like this balance patch, bro. I happened to just turn around and see his stream just off. I'm like, what happened? Yeah, I don't think he liked the Akuma changes, bro. Maybe not. I could be wrong. Maybe he has a previous engagement. But usually Akuma plays for, at least Daigo plays for at least 4 to 5, 6 hours. That shit barely says 3. Yeah. Okay. All right, moving on. Let's go to Ed. Let's see. Conceptually, Ed is a strong mid-range fighter, but many of his long-range attacks gave him a good return, and this proved to be too oppressing. For this balance adjustment, we viewed the risk of these spacing tools that led to a lot of damage and slightly adjust attacks and combos, using one on defenses, which will reduce his ability to turn the tide of battle when fighting in close quarters. Standing medium kick, crouching medium kick. Oh God, they nerfed it. Against a lot of characters, his attack was able to take the initiative in encounters, and from a cancel to damage was good. So we decided to increase the risk when attack whiffs. Now on whiff, it's easier for opponents to take their turn, forcing Ed players to be more careful when throwing this out. Yeah, man. When I was playing Ed when he first came out, just to get used to the character, I used the hell out of medium kick. It was such a good button. Because medium kick is, the kick buttons is just flicker buttons. And that medium kick, oh my God, the range on that was phenomenal. Kill rush backwards, back with 2 kicks. The hurt box during this technique is expanded forward, making Ed more susceptible to an attack as they try to step back after holding on to cycle flicker and are late on or predictable with their decisions. Other tactics such as going from a normal attack to cycle flicker, then reading the situation and performing kill rush backwards are also more vulnerable to well-placed drive impact from the opponent. This is the button they need to be buffing, not nerfing. This attack featured great start range, and on hit it gave you a really nice return, which made it good in defensive situations. With that adjustment, we made it so that crouching light kick can't hit again on counter hit, so it was harder to get a return when stopping opponent's offense. Please note there are no changes to this move while using consistently during a cancel. I don't know, Capcom. The startup on it was just garbage, but it was still a good button, so I don't know. Overdrive Psycho Blitz. Quarter circle back with 2 punches. Here we go. Considering how good in return it is when this attack lands, we made adjustments so that it can be counterattacked by a light attack when this attack is blocked, and also increase the distance traveled during the first attack. While the risk of canceling during a block has increased, it should be easier to put together combos from a further distance now. They nerfed the Psycho Blitz. This is why we're here. Super Art Attack 2. Psycho Cannon. We made adjustments so that the drive gauge reduction for the opponent happens during the final stage of the attack. When starting combos with this attack with Ed's back to the corner, he's able to get high damage, and he gradually chips away at the opponent's drive gauge while recovering his own. This gauge disparity gives Ed far too much of an advantage after the combo while weakening of the combo starting attack. Doesn't change the damage. The opponent can now recover drive during long combos, so the gauge disparity won't be as big as before. Cobra Punch. Forward heavy punch. That's when he does that lunge punch. Drive gauge. They increased. See, this should be a universal adjustment because a lot of characters, depending on their heavy punch and heavy kick, get drive gauge increase. M.Bison. We tune out M.Bison's ability to do high damage combos and to chip away at opponent's drive gauge. His overall gameplay hasn't changed greatly, but we're looking to adjust him so that he doesn't use his high-powered offense to bully his way in. Overdrive Double Knee Press, Overdrive Psycho Pressure, Psycho Mind Embedded. Revamp the damage and scaling on these, whether or not Psycho Mind is embedded, to put a cap on his high combo damage. See? Like I said in my last video, all they need to do is change his damage scaling. He's a good character, well-rounded character. No need to change over this. No need for the nerf bat. Just change his damage scaling. That's it. And that's what they did. Evil Knee. Reduce the amount of drive gauge the opponents lose when this block on this attack. Allow Bison to move forward while keeping him at advantage. See? That's all they did. This technique ability for Shadow Rise is just to change his attack timing and trajectory, made it difficult to deal with. Even if the opponent tried to hit Bison out of the air, there was too many situations where Bison can just avoid attack and counter. To counter this, we expanded the overall hurt box on this technique and shut the attack hitbox, so it loses more often to opponent's aerial or ground attacks. Fair enough. Additionally, when a Psycho Mind is embedded and Bison performed double reverse, it was more difficult to keep on the offensive compared to the non-mind version, so we adjusted his recovery so that after landing, he doesn't have to lose out on the chance for an offensive punch, even if he has to dash for it. Crouching heavy kick. Disadvantage on block change from -11 to -12 frames. Yes. So, yeah, that's all they needed to do. Do damage scaling. And they did. So, before y'all come in here crying like, oh my god, they killed my boy. Shut up. Dictator's still good. I don't want to hear you crying. Or see your salty teardrops. Rashid. Let's see what they did to Rashid. Rashid has the ability to counter-strike for big damage in too many situations, so we took a look at adjusting that aspect. Overdrive Spinning Mixer. The situation after hit was far too good for Rashid, as he could either drive rush or call upon Super R2 Yashar to create a great opportunity for himself. Although it depends whether the hit takes place, it was also possible to send the opponent into the corner while recovering drive gauge, which was too advantageous for Rashid, so we made adjustments to make it more difficult to create offensive opportunities after this attack hits. That's it. Okay. Super Art, Super Rashid, Kid. That should be Kick. Okay, Capcom. Because his attack is also a powerful defensive measure due to his side switching ability, Rashid's advantage after this hit is now lessened, so it's more difficult for him to lay on the pressure. Side flip. Side flip adjustment was made in order to make it more difficult for it to avoid an opponent's drive rush or reversal. By combining his powerful cancel drive rush capabilities with side flip, it was possible to have side flip be performed only when the opponent performed their drive reversal. There's other characters who have similar capabilities, but considering Rashid crouching medium kick prowess, the advantage he has after drive rush and his options for after drive rush, adding a side flip option into the mix was far too advantageous as a counter for Rashid. They didn't do nothing for Rashid. They need to toe down his level 2, and they didn't. Man, you know, in the immortal words of Busta Rhymes, that's that. Come on, dog. A-Rap money. They did nothing. They did nothing. Here we go. Here we go. Terry. Terry has been given some adjustments to improve his attack proficiency at mid to close range and to brush up some spots we felt were difficult to use. The aim is to make him easier to handle as well as bring out his personality a little bit more. Basically, here come the bull. Crouch and medium punch. On punish counter, this could combo into heavy power charge for big damage, but there were some ranges where it wouldn't connect, leading to drop combos. We adjusted it so when attacking the main hurt box, heavy power charge is guaranteed to combo. Got it. Please note that if an attack hits a hurt box that comes out in front of the main hurt box, Please note that if the attack hits a hurt box that comes out in front of the main hurt box, it still may not connect for a combo. Standing light kick and standing medium punch can now reach targets easier, so your options there are also improved at close range. Light power charge. Due to the reduced pushback on hit with crouching medium punch, the attack hitbox on the first frame has been reduced in order to not decrease situations where you're aiming to hit during active frames. Medium power wave. To make it easier to use as a zoning tech as compensation for the range of his normal attacks, the hurt box before the attack startup has been reduced. Okay. Overdrive crack shoot. Overdrive burn knuckle. Super art 2 power geyser. There were times when a follow-up attack wasn't always guaranteed when the attacks hit a mid-air opponent, so we made adjustments to mitigate these situations. Super art 2 power geyser. The KOF version, or the Fatal Fury version. We designed this attack so players can have an easier time performing it, but that also introduced times where it was performed with slightly incorrect improvements. The conditions for this command input was more lax than what was necessary, and sometimes being performed was completely different commands, so the attack has been updated to require a... What? Y'all did that? Come on, man. Change disadvantage on block from -1 to +1. Overall length of the technique on block reduced by 2 frames. Okay, I get that. That's cool. This adjustment was made in order to ensure that there are no timing differences when attack is blocked or hit. Increase input buffer time on hit by 2 frames. Oh yeah, Carson heavy kick. Updated so that the attack hitbox that hit a ground opponent is lowered and cannot be absorbed by upper body super armor. That's it? Speed it up! Make it as fast as Ryu's. Updated effects and hit sound on a clean hit. Wrong wave. Overall technique length changed from 53 to 51 frames. Recovery on ground block or hit has not changed. Drive gauge reduction on block changed from 5,000 to 7,000. So they nerfed that part of it. The light power charge. Okay, crack shoot. Medium crack shoot. Advantage on hit changed from +1 to +3. Change behavior on the ground encounter hit from knockback to hard knockdown. Oh, so that knocks down. It helps out his Oki, I think. So now, instead of knocking them back, it literally puts them on their ass. It pancakes them. Okay. Heavy crack shoot. So he loses a lot of drive gauge when he does crack shoot. When it's blocked. I don't like that. Overdrive burn knuckle. Dang. What is with all this drive gauge reduction? I don't know, dog. These changes to Terry really don't grab my attention. I would have just made, overdrive burn knuckle go through, projectile invincible. But, and then speed up his crouching roundhouse. But I'm gonna make it do what it do. It is what it is. So there you have it. That's it. I was gonna do a whole video going over every single last character balancing in the balance patch, but I was like, you know what? I'll just go over the top 4 and Terry, because that's the ones I was main concerned about. That's the ones I need to know what they changed. All in all, like I said in the previous video, then they're gonna hit everybody with a Nerf bat. The one that got hit the hardest was pretty much Ed and maybe Akuma. They didn't touch Rashid, and I mean, M.Bison's kit's too strong for him to feel any effect as far as being nerfed due to damage scaling. And then Terry, I mean, we'll see. But this is just a minor balancing patch. The main one is coming probably after Capcom Cup, but we'll see. Well, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, peace.